Hello, 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 and live we are. Today I am going to be talking to Dahlia Lagos. She's a singer-songwriter, producer, engineer, and we're gonna like focus on women in the music industry because it's not like the easiest thing to be doing. She's here. Let me get her in. Dahlia. Hey!
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Can you see me all right?
I can see you totally. Is this like early for you in quarantine time or not? It is?
Yeah. It's okay.
Timothy loves you. Oh, hi Timothy.
Hi. Who is Timothy?
I don't know. You a friend?
A friend.
I'm guessing. I don't know. Are you Timothy? We don't know. This is so incredibly sexy, so it's got to be you.
No,
Hi, Shanu. Oh my god, I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know. How crazy.
This is the thing. This is what we want to talk about because basically, Dahlia here and me, we met 5 years ago, and we had like a long songwriting session together. And you're songwriter, producer, engineer. I think you went to Berkeley, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I went to Berkeley Music College, where all the best people go. And the thing is that I remember when we were writing, we were like having chats and stuff, and you were saying like, oh God, how to get into this industry. I feel like you felt a little bit like you didn't quite know how to like penetrate and get in there. And then I look at you like a few years later and you've done TV shows. Like, I mean, you have to like literally like rant down that whole list of things that you've done. But you've had songs on this show, Vida, is that correct?
Yes.
Vida, it's called?
Yeah.
And done loads and loads of stuff for companies, what do you say, like brief writing and stuff. So do you want to like introduce yourself a little?
Sure.
Correct.
My name is Dahlia. Dahlia Lagos. People just know me by my first name though.
Yeah.
And I write and produce, and I started. I mean, I feel like when we met, I was just starting to produce, and it was mostly because I didn't know how to get into sessions, and I didn't know how to work with producers, and I didn't have the money to pay producers.
Right.
So I learned to do it myself.
I think this is what most people do, or like they're just kind of bored with, having to wait, the time, the money, like just everything. And then I have like a lot of like girlfriends right now. Like there's always been this like set of girlfriends who have been like more like technically a thing and producing, but I feel there's a whole new wave right now of like more the sort of singer-songwriter frontline artist people that are just like, let me just get Splice and Logic and here we go, and then they come up with this amazing music and I'm like, see, you can do it yourself. And I think it's sound defining if you're able to do it yourself rather than being dependent on like somebody else. But sorry, I didn't want to stop you. Like keep on.
Oh no worries.
Going your little intro.
So what was I saying? Oh,
yeah, you didn't know how to get into like sessions.
Right.
Like going right into the thing.
The industry in LA seemed, and actually I think still seems, quite cliquey.
Yeah.
And it wasn't work. Like I couldn't, like I didn't feel like I fit in or like I could make my way in.
Yeah.
Into like a clique.
Yeah.
So I was like,
why did you feel that you might not fit or belong? Why do we think that? That's my question. I'm not saying like, I'm with you there sometimes.
I think, I don't know. I felt like
has it have to do with boys and girls kind of thing or just in general?
I felt like it had more to do with girls using their boyfriends as producers.
Right. So, and then that's what people are used to, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a trend for a long time. It's like, oh, cool, you're putting out an EP. Who produced it? It's like, oh, my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. So I've always been in the opposite position, where I got like my record deals, and then I got like guys in, and then we kept the entire relationship for like 3 years of like my band in London.
Yeah.
When I was with Warner's, we kept even in front of our managers, in front of our PR people, in front of like our label. everyone, nobody knew that I was in a relationship with this guy because I didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
Because I produced everything, I wrote everything, I got the demos, you know, I got signed, and then I got the guys to come in, and then I met this person and, you know, fell in love, all that stuff. I didn't want to go like, oh yeah, it's the guy and like his girlfriend is singing, you know,
Yeah.
and he could have never pulled that off like what I did at the time, you know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I don't know. I feel like everybody's journey was different, and mine was definitely, and just who I am. I think my personality was significantly more like, fuck this, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do this myself. And also, it was just, it was a little difficult for me learning to communicate with producers, and not knowing, like, not having the vocabulary, the language.
Right.
To be like, I want something more synth heavy or something like this. So
hang on, did you not do production at Berkeley? Did I get? I always thought that you did that. What did you do at Berkeley?
Songwriting.
Songwriting. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Songwriting
Okay. So that was nice.
And jazz.
And they didn't give you any. There was no technical stuff at all. Like no learning logic, plot crystals.
Basic. Like,
okay.
I think there was a class called Technology for the Songwriter.
Right. All right. Okay. Keeping it simple.
Pretty basic.
Exactly. Okay, so basically, so at that point you were just like, what? And I guess you could just fairly like, you haven't been in LA that long at that point.
No, yeah, and we met at the Composers Breakfast.
Did we? See, yeah. I have a memory like a sieve, so like...
Okay, yeah, no, we met at the Composers Breakfast.
Oh, we did. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
People who don't know.
Yeah.
Richard Gibb, great composer, hosts these breakfasts
in Malibu every Monday morning.
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock. I'm always like, really, 9 o'clock on a Monday? Oof. It kind of just shows at what level these people are. You know?
Right? Yeah, no,
it's Thursday, 5. But it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's just like breakfast where at a little beach house, and like all kind of musicians, film people, just any like sort of creative but like heavily based on music, like come together and have breakfast. And then there's like talks about stuff. There's like all kinds of people. The last time I was there, the singer of Korn, that band, was there, and he had like incredible insights that was so important for me.
I haven't been in a while.
That was ages ago. Well, not ages ago. I don't know. February.
We should go. When the quarantine has lifted.
We go together, yeah. But the amazing thing that and I've mentioned this before, is because, you know, I'm the sort of person, when I record my vocals, I record like 80 takes, right? And then I hate myself for 2 days, and I run to the fridge all the time, and I just edit these vocals for like 2 days straight, like from 8 a.m. to like 4 in the morning, right? And, you know, I literally despise my life and myself doing this. And then I was talking to him, and he was saying that he goes in the studio and he basically opens his mouth and whatever comes out, like the first thing that he writes is the thing that it is. For him, there's no rewriting. You know how in film they say like script writing is the film isn't written, a script isn't written, it's rewritten. And normally we'd probably say about music too. And I have tendencies for that too. I have either that thing where I open the mic and I come up with the perfect thing. It just happens. Like, and you know, you feel attached to that first thing that came out because you feel like that was the magic. There's something that happened when you hear that thing for the first time. Often when people ask me to like collaborate and they have a track, I'm like, just send me the song, like, and I will not listen to it until I have my headphones on and my mic on. You know, mic is open and my headphones are on, and then I'll go for it, because there's something about that instant thing. And there's the question: do you trust that or not? You know. But then when John, I think his name, John something, the singer of Korn, when he said that, I was like, oh, you know, oh my god, I might just keep doing that now. You know, I'm still learning this whole like, don't do 80 tracks, just do like 5 and believe in that. You know,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody has their process, and you do what you got to do. For every person that is a one take, you know, writer, there's people who rewrite. Like
that's true.
Leonard Cohen. He wrote how many verses of Hallelujah? He wrote so many verses.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wrote. I don't know the number, but I know that he wrote many verses to get the box
of it. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. It probably also depends on the song. Like sometimes you have you know, something where you go like, that's it, I need to go with this. In my thing, I was recording an EP, writing songs in January in Berlin. And one thing I'm cool with like redoing, like it's sort of up tempo, kind of like in Britpop 90s type song. I don't know why it came out like that. It was amazing. And then the other one is very different. It's very like atmospheric and floaty and lots of like screamy voices and stuff. And I'm so like, oh, am I gonna redo them or not? This is like perfect. Like it's the first time in my entire life I've said this to myself. Like I'm the like biggest critic like ever to myself, you know? And I was like, oh, like I don't know what I'm trying to do because all I'm trying to do is re-sing what
Right.
I already had, you know what I mean? And trying to make it better when there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect, you know? And this is such a new thing for me to like deal with this situation. Now I know I'm gonna go in and re-record it anyway, and
Yeah.
then we'll see if I go back to the original or not. But I need to go. I don't know why. I think I have to like go through pain to like make this happen.
Funny.
Oh my
No.
god. But anyway, back to you. So, and then what happened? And then I hear from you again, and suddenly you're posting all this like stuff of like, I am having a song on this show, and I'm having this song on this show, and all that kind of stuff, you know. So how did you end up penetrating the scene, if that's the word?
I mean, it was a series of events. I think there was a lot of luck, a lot of persistence, like, just
Yeah.
being very consistent, and
Yeah.
but I think there's definitely some luck involved.
Right.
I went to a reboot event that Pulse holds. Pulse Publishing.
Oh, okay.
They host this thing they've been hosting for maybe about a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
These reboot events held by Maria Egan, who is incredible woman. Anyway, she was like, okay, the music industry sucks right now. We need to shut it down and reboot this type class.
Right.
And it was about women in the industry. So it started off as a small group. And one of the first reboots, I think maybe was 15 people. And anyway, so I met a few people there. And when the Viva thing came up, which is Viva's a TV show on Stars, they decided that they wanted to do a female writing camp for the TV show. And they had met me there. They needed female producers. They knew I was one. My parents are Colombian. I'm Latina, and they're like, yes, you fit the bill.
Perfect.
But also I had done the work. So by the time that came up, was I scared to say yes? Absolutely. But I was more ready than I realized that I was.
Cool.
So that came about. And then once that happened, people started paying attention more. And they're like, oh, okay, she can generate money. And, at the end of the day, this is a business. Yeah, this is the music business.
It's something you have to like learn the hard way.
Like I want to make people money. Like, yes, like if I can make money and I can make you money, let's do this.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so like, whenever I can pay my friends for stuff, if I can bring them in on projects that's paid, I don't know. I feel like I have a good relationship with money.
Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, I mean, that's just, and then also I'm on the steering committee for SONA, which is Songwriters of North America.
Okay.
And they, before I joined, they had sued the Department of Justice for songwriter rights. So they were the ones that got the MMA pass. So I'm on their committee, on the steering committee, and I also met a lot of people through that. And yeah, I mean, I've been active.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, and then at some point, like, with the Vita thing, you just kind of, you just hustled until you got that thing. Oh, and then still keep hustling, but that just opened a bunch of like doors for people to take you seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, what's funny is that a lot of the stuff that came after that was stuff that I had already done. So I don't know, I got a placement on a CW show called Katie King, and it was a song that I did maybe about in 2018, so about 2 years ago.
Right.
Once you like enter the system, so much easier. Like, I was no less talented or no more talented before the Visa thing happened.
Right.
Like
just people didn't know about you or didn't
Yeah.
know that you could pull it off. That's the thing,
Yeah.
isn't it? They need to learn. You need to do like, need to get your foot into somewhere so that they can see that you can pull it off. And once that's done, then you're like a player in the game, basically. Whereas before, um, it's kind of like, yes, there's a gazillions of you out there. You know what I mean? Prove yourself first, but then you need to give the chance to get proof. You know, prove
Right.
yourself,
And I
right?
think people underestimate the luck aspect of that. I think a lot of people, once they've made or once they've reached a certain level, they're like, well, I worked hard. It's like, yes, you worked hard, but there was also a lot of luck involved.
Yeah.
You know, I was very lucky that I met the people that I did that random day. I
Yeah.
was really lucky that they were standing behind me waiting for coffee, and I turned around to talk to just the right person.
Right.
You know, like,
I love these about all these like events, these like, you know, NAM or South by Southwest or like or Sundance for film or whatever. Like
right.
you never know. I just love that feeling. You just go in and you're just gonna bask in people for
Yeah.
like, I don't know, a week
All
or
right,
something.
universe,
And
show me who I'm
everywhere
supposed
you
to
look.
be.
Yeah, anyone, you know, you don't know where you meet them. You know what I mean? And it's such a nice feeling. It's a shame about South by Southwest having to be cancelled this year.
Yeah, I've never been. I've never
You
been.
have never been? Oh my God, you have to.
Yeah,
So
I will. Hopefully soon. Hopefully next time around.
exhausting. So what are you working on right now? Oh, how are you dealing with quarantine? Are you productive? Are you more like, I don't know, taking
Um,
a day at a time?
I think it depends on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sleeping a lot. I've been trying to just navigate like
Mm-hmm.
living by myself and being alone and you know being far away from my family, which like you know I know you are as well. Um, but I mean it's I don't know. I'm enjoying it for what I can enjoy it for,
Right.
you know, and yeah, I mean I'm not being that productive when I need
Right.
to. Yes, like obviously like I still have deadlines that I need to meet. Uh,
Yeah.
projects will come in that I need to complete.
Yeah.
I also do advertisement music.
Mm-hmm.
So the agency will like send over something for me to do and I
Okay.
will do it.
So you still have things running, you know,
Yes.
while you're like locked
Pretty
up
much
anyway,
almost
like right?
everything is running as usual.
Yeah.
Um,
And
except I haven't seen a human in like 3 weeks.
I know, I must say, I sometimes look out the window.
Oh, my window just looks onto some greenery and another building, and then there's yappy dogs both downstairs and upstairs. So no.
I've like honestly, I've been shopping twice and it's so scary to me. Like I'm trying to avoid it. Like I'm at a point again where like, you know, it's the greenery in the freezer that's like left to eat. And I'm like, I'm not going out until there's nothing there. But like a lot of people have been saying, a lot of like musicians I talk to, and like, you know, I know it from myself, it's like, well, it's not really that different. You know, we're kind of like,
But
as
it
artists, we
is.
are like often kind of isolated anyway, you
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, I think there's a difference between being isolated uh, because of choice or work and out of
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah, that's true. It's the
I don't
fact
want
that
to
you can't
die.
just go, like, I feel like bad about like just going for a walk around the block because people will not get out of your way and people, you know, and now they have this whole new thing that the virus goes like 25 feet and, you know, wind blows and, you know, I'm like, I'm not even going for a walk anymore. I open all my doors. I'm so blessed to have this apartment where like there's loads and loads of like door windows.
Yeah,
So when I open everything, it feels like I'm outside anyway. I have like the air going through. You know, it's
yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm sitting at my desk and the wind is blowing in my hair. And I'm like, hey, I'm outside. That's the closest I've been. But
Yeah,
like for so everyday work day, there's not so much difference. You know, apart from like having sessions in real person, I've had some sessions like on house party and I'm just gonna say this now, I'm planning like live songwriting sessions, specials over the weekend. So perhaps you and me can get together for one of these. I
maybe.
have a
Let's
lot of things
see.
in planning for this. I'm loving this, what's going on here. Like I've talked to so many amazing people and I feel like that's been like the biggest thing for me is I mean I have time to chat to you now. Like when would we have
Yeah,
taken like a time in the day out like for an hour to like chat? You
right.
know, like No, we just probably wouldn't. You know? And that's, I do that like every day, and so I'm like catching
I
up.
don't know how you get up so early.
So early.
Yeah, you're like in
I
it.
was like, I'm thinking of doing a morning show, but I,
Gosh.
like at 9 or something,
Yes, you should.
right? I like
And
in bed
we
with
can make you a
SiSSi.
little theme song.
I'm going to talk to you about this because I, my shower this morning, I was like, I gotta get that theme song down. I'm not kidding. And I was thinking, shall I use something I already have? I thought, nah, it's like doing one specific,
But
you
something
know?
like something funny, like a funny theme
Right,
song.
very like musically or something, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also contemplating changing the name of the show, like just because it has the word isolation in it, and you know, I don't know, I'm sort of over that now. For me, it's just like, but you know what I mean? Like I want it to be like something that's just like a name that is just there, which has nothing to do with like the situation, even though it
Sure.
aims to like uplift people, but it's gonna aim to uplift people anytime, you know?
Yeah, a name that can
Um,
carry on after
of
all.
course, yeah, totally, there's no question.
Totally.
So yeah, we'll do a special on the weekend or something. Let's
The
plan a
weekend edition.
songwriting special. Like have a bunch of like songwriting live sessions with people. That's my plan. That is
Amazing.
my plan. You're in.
Amazing.
So do you want to play us like some music that you have for peeps? You said
Sure.
you were,
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
it's you, you're just gonna play it off your computer, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dahlia, a listening session. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
totally. Let's see.
I'm into you right
Hold on, I'm
now.
gonna have to like move the phone over my keyboard.
I'm getting all musically now. We talked about this. Don't say the word musical twice.
So let's see.
Yay.
I don't even know where to position you so that it doesn't like blast you.
Okay.
Eh,
We can have a little sound check before you play the whole song.
eh.
Just to let you in.
I'll play a little bit. Okay, so this is so funny. Once I started getting more syncs,
Yeah.
people, different artists. So I work with a lot of different artists who want to do music for sync,
Right.
film and TV. That might not necessarily be the genre that their artist project is in.
Yeah.
So I started working with a variety of people and singers and we've just made fake bands and just like gone with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
So this is a song that I did with a very talented young lady named Cassandra McGrath, and she has an artist project. But this is our own like side project that we're doing for film and TV. So this is something that we co-wrote and I produced, and it's her singing.
So what's the fake name?
The fake, oh, okay. So the fake band name is called Paloma.
Again, Kelowna.
Paloma.
Paloma.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. She separately also gets a lot of placements. And so we just decided to join forces and get together, and it was very organic, and we were like, fuck yeah. Yeah. So this is
hear it. That's so good.
Let's see. Let's get some volume on here. Is the volume okay?
Yeah, let me hear. You can go.
From home, you're sleeping. It's still yesterday. Don't watch me going away. I'm not gonna you say goodbye. So promise me you won't even try. We're getting on the time. You tell me that you're fine. So keep me in your mind, keep me in your mind, keep me in your mind. We're getting down the time. You tell me that you're fine. So keep me in your mind, keep me in your mind, keep me in your mind. It's morning again.
Yeah. So like that.
So that is her singing on this one, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And what did you use that for?
We're using it for pitch.
Oh, you're just putting it out there.
Yeah, for sync pitch.
Yeah.
You know, so that was, you know, that was like a lot of fun to do.
So you're basically also like creating like a library of your sing songs that you have out there with like a publisher or something? Or did you just react to specific?
Well, that we just got together to write, and then I was really inspired by Ricky Reed, the producer,
right?
And the work that he did with Maggie Rogers. Okay. So we were kind of like, okay, this seems pretty like a pretty sync friendly sound.
Right.
And I wanted to try just like, you know, writing like an indie dance pop-ish type thing.
Right.
Yeah, and
can you answer my question on this? I was watching this Apple TV show, and like all the Apple TV shows I've watched, they all have so many like covers on them of people, like really good covers. Like music is great, but it's so clear that they just got all these like artists to write these covers. What's the situation like the legal situation about doing a cover? So if I was to like do a cover today, where do the rights go? Where does the money go for publishing, for syncing TV?
So for covers, you know, obviously like there's the publishing, the writers, and there's like the mechanical and the performance. Yeah. So like performance has writer, publisher, mechanical is the reproduction.
Yeah.
With a cover, obviously the writers maintain their percentage. Right. But what you, as the person who's doing the cover of a song, you retain the mechanical and the performance. So oftentimes people who do covers of like big names, I mean the writer has to approve it. They have to,
right?
You know, actually, you can't stop someone from doing a cover of your song,
right?
Like that is just illegally, you can't do that.
Because
it's a difference whether or not they like monetize it.
They monetize it, exactly. Because I did this song like ages ago, like which had the Cure lyrics in it. It was just like I just wrote this thing, and I loved the music that I'd done, you know, and just a song came to my head, and I didn't even realize what it was. And then I Googled it, and it was like it's a love song by The Cure. And so I was like, oh my God, people do covers all the time. And I remember my music lawyer, having said that you can do covers like, you know, if you do them in a different language, it's like a different song and you still get like money. And I remember him saying this. So I was like, well, I'm always so picky with myself, having to be so like unique or whatever. And I was like, oh, I don't just do that, you know? And it's there, it's done. And I put it out. And then I did get in touch with, I think it was Universal or something at the time, to talk to them about it and see if it's okay to release it. And the thing, it was probably bad timing because the day I released it was the day that The Cure had like a comeback thing on the NME cover in New Music Express, like the biggest music paper, whatever, in the UK. So I didn't know if that had something to do with it, but basically they said, I can't monetize it. I can't put it out there. So I've always had it up for free. Like I've done a video for it and everything, but it's just had to be for free. So what you're saying is, you still, if you do that for TV, you still get like half of the rights, just not the writer's share, but your performance share.
Right, yes.
And it's a fact.
And
what if they don't agree on it? What if you do it and then they don't agree for you to put it out there or use it? Is that possible?
I'm not because when you get it, when you put it on TV, they need to agree and they need to give you the rights to use their copyright.
Yeah.
So someone like, what's his name? Paul Simon. He never gives TV shows rights for his stuff. Like very, very seldom, especially for like if you look at American Idol or America's Got Talent and stuff like that, like very rarely does he give the right for people to cover his songs.
Oh, interesting.
So when you watch a TV show and you hear all of these really great covers, what I think, and this is just like my conjecture, I'm not sure, but I think it's usually easier to cover people that are within the catalog that you're signed to. If you're signed to a publisher,
right,
it's a lot easier to cover legacy artists within your catalog.
Right.
So.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. That was
So like
yeah,
I
because
did.
I was talking with my producer in Berlin about this like yesterday. It's like, right, we gotta do
Yeah,
something
like
about this. We want to
I
do a
did a
cover on my
cover of Love Shack.
Oh, amazing! I love
Yeah.
that song.
And
Oh, I
it's
want to hear
super
it.
dark, very like Lana Del Rey, very like
Oh, you have to link me to that. I totally want to hear that.
but it's, you know, once again getting the rights to put it out
Yeah.
for film and TV. Like, I mean, I also think it depends on who it is.
True. I just wonder if there's a way of you knowing beforehand if somebody's going to be dodgy or awkward about it or not. You know, if you can go into some sort of catalog and go like, all right, I can do this in this cover, but that one I should probably not do because they don't give you the rights. You know what I mean? If there's a way of finding out before you do it.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe there is. I don't know it.
Or perhaps you just write to them beforehand, so I want it, but then they're probably not going to reply if they don't actually have anything on their hand. Then they're going to go, oh, some person is potentially wanting to make it.
Right.
So I don't have the time for that email.
This is really funny because I took a class at UCLA with Dina LaPolt, who is like the most incredible lawyer
Right.
on the face of the planet. And I know her through Sona, and so I took the class, and she did a whole section on just this, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Girl,
I gotta pull out my notes, my UCLA notes.
Well, I always find you always get like different opinion, like thoughts on everything as well as I'm always like asking, you know, on top. I feel like there's, you know, you can always ask more.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to play another song?
Sure. Let's see. Okay, so what, like, I don't know.
Hey, Nick Sparrow Pop. That's like a fantastic songwriter there, right there. Sparrow Pop.
Hi.
So you gotta say
We should
hi.
get them to ask us questions because they can pop in questions, right?
Yes, do ask questions, guys. Sorry.
Yes, ask us questions.
Talked about this with this lady yesterday. If you have questions, sorry, it's like sort of like I'm still figuring out this maintaining. I woke up earlier today. You did. Clicked in the second half of the show.
Yeah.
She's like, this show is too early for me.
Oh
It'll be online for 24 hours. And I'm still trying to figure out the technology behind me uploading it to IGTV, but I haven't, it's just not grabbed, like, let me do it. I don't know why. So my plan is to put up all the shows on IGTV and on Facebook, and potentially start doing it on Facebook Live as well. Need to figure that out too.
Amazing.
It's evolving, you know, as we go along.
All right, so let's see.
So what are you gonna play us?
So this is a song. This is a song that's not out yet. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it.
Okay.
But it's a song that I produced. I co-wrote it with this incredible writer named Sammy Plotkin and Greg Cortez, who owns New Monkey Studios, which is like a great anyway, great people. I love working with the people that I work with. But this is a song that we did. Let's see. Well, that was not it. Hold on, let's see. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't take on the company. Wanna dance, I'll give you energy. You're fighting and biting, it's on. Kissing you, sweet too long. Drum noise out, getting done. I could drown in you all alone and find out time isn't real. Holding the feeling I feel. You know about it all, you know you want to. Come take a sip. I'm tripping. I want you love me. I want you
That really fits the music, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ah! I think that worked. That worked really well. So that was great. Oh, I don't know how to get this off now anymore. I'm just gonna figure it out.
Should we tell people how we ended up at the border with Shakira's band?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, so basically, we love the music. That's what we want to say. We love it. Really good. Like, really like it. I love the fluty thing in the beginning.
Oh, thank you.
I like these sort of. But keep us going for a little while, okay? Just bear with us. We just love it ourselves too much. I love that song. Very good. Love this life. Oh, thank you. You guys are so cute. If anyone has any questions to our lady singer, songwriter, producer, engineer,
Yeah,
about
actually anything.
bring it on. Bring it on. And also, you know, like about the being a woman in the music industry. That's one thing we sort of like need to like put a little bit in there again as well. But let us like, yes, tell a story about how you ended up with Shakira's band and somewhere on the border to Mexico, you and me. I'm trying to get this off, it's so distracting.
Yeah, hold on, let me find like a cute.
Oh, there we go. Here we are.
That's not working.
Love the way to get your ears like somewhere on your eyebrow. Oh my god. So yeah, so you and me, we got like, we went on which software do you use and how fast did you learn it?
Oh my gosh, I should play you some of my first production stuff.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
It'd be fun, yeah.
Inspire some people to suck.
You're always gonna suck. You're always gonna make mistakes first.
Yeah, you're gonna suck for a while and it's like, whatever, it's okay.
I'm contemplating on like, I've been talking with this for like a while and like trying to make that step of like releasing like songs of mine that I have on my secret SoundCloud that, you know, you pass on to like other musicians or to publishing or whatever, but that I haven't released as an artist. I'm sort of like tempted to put them out there. I'm not sure if this is like a shooting yourself in your own foot or if it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
What do you record in? Ableton, Pro Tools? What do you record in?
Both, actually. So I produce in Ableton and I record vocals in Pro Tools.
Nice.
Yeah, so Ableton has been great for production. It's really, really awesome.
This is the only one I don't know yet. This is the only one.
Logic was my first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of these things I did in Logic.
Okay. Let's say something early. This is great. Like, listen to development. I like that.
Let's see.
DAHLIA L as a production baby. Here we go.
I don't even know how to look for this shit. Oof.
Language.
Oh, okay. This is a
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I really not. I tend to. I curse quite not a lot, but a decent amount. Like, okay.
Yeah, how long did it take you to learn like production or like certain like platforms, DAWs?
Not too long. I mean, I really immersed myself in them. I did any and every like YouTube video that I could find. I mean, so I was actually talking to someone about this yesterday.
Okay.
When I started learning how to produce, it seemed like the only YouTube videos of like how to and tutorials were for hip hop and trap music.
Right.
And so I did that. I learned how to do that. And then when the wave of Latin trap came around, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't. For me, it was about learning how to do stuff, not necessarily, is this in my style? Is this what I want to be doing? Is this whatever? It was just like, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just need to learn.
You just dedicated the time to the, you know, to the technology of it. That's always a really hard thing for me because I go and then if I have a question, I'll look into it, but I just want to like use it instantly. I know that's a very apparently that's how like boys and girls work differently normally, but I have a boy side on that one. But there's this thing they used to say that like guys are like that they would go in the studio and they just will like, you know, get the equipment and it's just like twiddle the knobs and press the buttons and do all this kind of stuff and don't look at any manuals or whatever, and they just do that and then you know, and then they sort of get to a point and then there's sort of like a little sort of stuck kind of thing, whereas girls like they sort of take the manual and they go page by page by page and go for it, and it takes them longer, but then they know it's solid like inside out. So this is potentially a very sexist comment, but But this is what I've been told in the studios about, like, you know, how people work. And I generally, I'm like that. I gotta read my manual. I can't, like,
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think what it is isn't, obviously there's a part of just like boys and girls and how we learn, but I think also women oftentimes feel like they're not afforded the amount of fuck ups that men are. So we have to read the manuals.
True.
So we have to come in knowing stuff.
Absolutely true.
And we don't, for every 5 mistakes like a guy makes, we've already lost out on an opportunity.
Yeah.
I was talking, I read this somewhere in a book that men or boys or guys are judged based off their potential, and women are judged based off their ability. So
all right. I have to say, like, I'm like, you know, because we want to talk about this whole women. Like, when I first started out and I moved to London, I was like super young, and I was working in the studio in Soho, and I was basically, you know, like an assistant kind of person, you know, and I already had studied music production and sound engineering and, you know, singing and all that stuff anyway, right, and songwriting. And I was in there, and there was some kid, you know, who I don't think had done anything else. He just like got into the studio and learned stuff there, right? And so I did like, you know, work, and then when we had free time, we like started doing productions together and work on stuff. And it was that whole thing where you like sat down and did something, and he was like, I'll show you. Like, he was always so condescending, like, you know, like as if you knew nothing. And I'm like, I'm not running around like beating my chest to hold it. Ooh, I know how this like sampling thingy, whatever, like this compressor works or whatever. Although compressors I'm not very good at. But but you know, I'm not like running like, look what I can do the whole time, you know. I just kind of know certain things, and I don't have to talk about it. I just do them and use them, you know. But that was so crazy at that time. There was such a thing. And I had another run in, like when I was that was when I was still in school, and we had to work like on a mixing desk thing. And there was this guy, and I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but we had like such a blow up because he was just giving me like, he was just treating me like an idiot, and I knew so much more than he did, like so much more than he did. And there was this like crazy blow up. He went all like mental on me, and then, you know, and the teacher actually like sent him out, and it's like, and like he sort of told him that he was wrong, you know, like the way he was on about it. But these were the horrible run-ins, you know. There's completely other stuff, you know, there's sort of sexual stuff that happens in studios when you don't want them and all that. But
I mean, I feel like the amount of opportunities that I don't even want to call them opportunities, but from turning advances down, you know, and that's an unfortunate like reality of studio life, and I think some people play ignorant to it, you know. And I don't know, it's just like, it's a weird thing, like, get away from me.
No, it's just like, why? You know, why? Because we're like stuck in here. Like, I mean, I have like, I don't know if I should put this out there, but I had a situation only, it was past Me Too, right? Like, so we've always been used to like dealing with this stuff, you know. I mean, hopefully they're like, whatever, the 10-year-olds that are going to be in the studio in a few years time, they're not going to have to live that anymore, right? But we did, like, you used to have advances in every like part of your life. But I also, like in the studio, and like I had this situation, I was in a session with a band, and it was nighttime, and then like it was in a group sort of studio complex thing, and they had this other guy come in. I didn't know him, and he came in, and you know, they were friends. It was, for me, it was like their session, and I joined them for the first time, you know. And I get in the vocal booth to record vocals, and this guy comes in, and I don't know what he was like, trying to pretend that he was like showing me what I'm meant to do, when it wasn't even his session. But I was singing, and he started groping me. And I was like, my mind was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I am like, here I am, this is like post Harvey Weinstein. Like a few months after, like, meets you, you're meant to like go and like turn around, I don't know, and like slap him or whatever, or like, you know, like you're trying to like, while I'm singing, right? And I didn't do any, I was always like sort of trying to sort of wiggle myself out of it, but I did not really know how to. I know that my heart wanted to just go and like slap him. But then I was like, well, it's my friend's session. Perhaps it's a good friend of them. Perhaps it works together. You know, there's so many what ifs and things that, and also that people are not used to, like women really getting back to them like guys, right?
Right.
So I didn't really do anything, and I spoke to girlfriends about it but didn't say anything. But a few weeks later I was in the car going back from like a party with the band, and I told them, and the crazy reaction, this is the craziest thing. So the reaction, like, I'm good, like, you know, gonna say, but one of the guys, like one of the engineers, he just sort of like was driving and he just got really like quiet, and you know, so like we were like, you know, what thing, you know, like, so why didn't you tell us, you know? And I was like, and then explained. But he said the first thing he thought of is like, he was trying to figure out if he had done the same thing before. So literally it wasn't like, oh my god, this is so annoying. It's just like you know, just went like inside going like wondering if he had done the same thing before. And I'm like, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? Not the reactions like, that's really horrible. I mean, it was the reaction, why didn't you say anything? It was like, this was your session. I didn't know. I didn't want to fuck anything up for you guys, you know?
Right. I mean, you know what's so unfortunate about that is that you never know how you're going to react. You know, I mean, I had a producer who was, or is, a fairly successful producer for all, you know, all intents and purposes, works with like pop bands and like rappers and whatever. And he was relentless with his harassment online of like asking me to come over for a drink at 1 a.m., telling him like, you know, asking me if I had a boyfriend, and if I did, what was his name? I don't believe you. And just like all of this stuff. And I didn't say anything. But it started, and then finally one day I was like, listen, man, like, I'm not interested, please. Like, and I would try to do the polite thing of like, hey bro, like, no, like, I'm good. Hey dude.
So you're always like sort of playing it off, like at first it's kind of like a joke and like pushing them back, but they don't, you know, they might not get it. So, no, or they don't, like, unless you like tell them, like, and then even then they don't necessarily.
Right, no. And so
even then
like, it's okay if you want to say no. And I was like, I've said no. And then
like 10 times.
Every other fucking LA girl, like, you're only interested in what I can do for you. And I was like, yes, because I told you that I was only interested in a professional relationship. so yes, you are accurate.
Yeah.
But also, I told you from the beginning that I was only interested in a professional relationship. I was like, listen, man, if there's ever any session that you feel like I would be a good contribution to, let me know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that happened. I didn't say anything. And he got really angry. He cursed me out. He blocked me on social media. Luckily, I was able to take screenshots of everything, of the conversation and everything beforehand. So, like, don't fuck with me.
Right. Good.
But later on, I found out that he did that to my friend's girlfriend.
Oh,
and,
God.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a very functioning producer in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I mean,
you know, and it's so hard to figure out.
But I mean, I think what people just gonna have to, like, who might not know this, but that is just like a standard. That, like, it doesn't happen at all the time.
I think it's starting to shift, because funny enough,
now, yes,
I think even before, maybe a little bit, I think some of my greatest champions in production have been men. And
right. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
And like guys in studios being like, hey, have you heard of this plugin? Have you seen this? Come, sit here, and like, let me show you in a very non-creepy way. Yeah. Like, oh, I see you're interested in this. Pull up your chair. Yeah. You know, let me show you. I want to help you, and whatever, you know. But for every one producer that's like that, there's like 10 other dudes that are not like that.
Exactly. But yeah, like, I mean, hopefully, like, this is all getting a little bit better now. Or like, hopefully next time something like that happens, I kind of know what to do. But I was really like,
I mean, you know what's interesting? Like, I don't know, if the mic was recording, you could have just been like, why did you touch me on the microphone? Right.
But still, there was still that situation of like, you have the session of these other people. You don't, you know, that you don't want to screw anything up. It wasn't like I was in a studio and a random like, you know, it was just there was more things in the game that, you know, could like screw everything up. And at that point, I didn't know that the other guys that well either. So it was literally my first session in with them. And, you know, I mean,
I think one thing that, first, something that I've learned that usually that people can't really argue with, it's like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you
that's such a
standing.
good word.
Yeah, because no
That
one's
is such a good word. Like, I don't really use that. That's not sort of in my vocabulary as much, but like the people use it for so much. Like I think it's a very like US thing word to use all the time. It's like I'm not comfortable with. I need to really like start to use it more often.
Yeah, and I think it's a safe. It creates a safe distance, regardless of what the situation is. Say you're talking with somebody and they ask you a very personal question and you don't want to answer, but you don't want to lie. Hey, I don't really feel comfortable answering that.
I'm totally to like put this in my brain.
Or like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable recording my vocals with someone else in the booth. Do you mind stepping out, please?
Yeah, totally. I don't even know what he was doing there, but yeah.
Yeah, like whatever the situation is. Or like,
yeah.
It's making me feel a little uncomfortable, and nobody wants to be the source of someone's discomfort. So, you know,
I like that.
But it's like it sucks that these are tools that we have to.
Even think about when you're trying to just be creative and have fun, right? I know.
Yeah.
It's just, what gets me post like Harvey Weinstein, when all that happened and you suddenly had conversations at parties about all this things that have happened to you, and do you realize how many men have absolutely no idea what women go through? Like nothing. You got like, are you kidding me? Because you always, as a woman, when so much stuff happens to you, you know, when you walk down the street and you get like wolf whistled all the time, and you know, you just think that people see that and hear that, and like, you know, everyone knows that it's a given fact that that's what happens to women. Totally. And then only like when you start like at parties suddenly being allowed to talk about all the things that have happened to you, which, you know, like despite his horribleness, we really have a lot to thank for the disgusting Weinstein person, you know what I mean, that these things came out. But I was flabbergasted about how little men knew what women go through, like ongoingly. This is crazy.
Absolutely. I think men don't realize they haven't had to pay attention to that. So I don't think that it's malicious. I just don't think that
no, I don't either.
Something that they didn't know.
Exactly.
You know? I think we know now.
And now we can actually tell them. I feel like before we weren't really allowed to tell, but it was like played off, like, yeah, whatever, you know. But I think now it's like, so the world is sort of realizing that these things are real issues, you know, that I didn't want to deal with, you know, that I didn't need to deal with, that kind of thing, you know. We have 7 minutes before it kicks us out, and I kind of want to keep it to that time so I can like post it easier. So do you want to play us another song? Or do you have anyone have any questions in here for my adorable singer, songwriter, producer, engineer lady?
People still in here, because I see that people have come on.
I don't know. I don't think you can. It just says like join, and then you know, there's people in here. I just don't know if there are any questions, but if you do, bring it on.
Yeah, we should do like a spitfire question.
Exactly. Like, I have another quick quarantine question. Would you rather be locked up with your ex-boyfriend you're still in love with, who dumped you recently, for your best friend, or a 3-legged dog who constantly wants to hump you?
Oh my god.
Which one is it?
The 3-legged dog? He can always hump the cat.
That's so funny. You're like the only person who was like thinking about it. Someone's like 3-legged dog.
I was like, okay, ex-boyfriend who recently broke up with me for
best friend.
But why would you be with me and not my best friend? I assume also ex-best friend.
Yes, I would assume that. Yes, exactly. Another one. Here's a question.
Polyamorous compound.
Did you find the baby production or another song? No. Want to do that?
Okay.
I mean, if it kicks us out, we can always come back in. I just kind of like.
Let's do a short, like a short. So this was one of the first songs that I did. This was 2016.
Okay, baby song. I like the way you called it.
Some of these. This is, oh gosh. Wait,
Catchy. This asks for another. This asks for another thing. Hang on. This one. I typed my chair here. With the 90s. It's catchy though.
oh God. Oh God.
Playing at SiSSi's Productions. You're so daring, girl. Brave.
So this is something that I'm trying to do more in my life. Make brave and bold choices. Daring greatly. Thank you, Brené Brown, my quarantine reading companion.
Daring greatly. Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Do you have any suggestions for quarantine time? Reading, listening, watching?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I've been reading a lot. I've been listening to audiobooks a lot. I've been doing a lot of, like, introspection and stuff. So I recently read a Brené Brown book. Not Daring Greatly, the other one. I don't know what it's called.
The other one, I have a feeling she's written a bunch.
But I mean, she's incredible.
Love her.
And Rising Strong.
Oh yeah.
Is the one that I read. So I've read that. I've been doing just like a lot of meditations and just like trying to center myself and not be too hard on myself for not getting shit done.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I don't know how people are baking bread and cookies and brownies and I'm like,
this is my friend Onika who's asking your favorite vocal production, recording vocal plugin. She's been baking pies. And these pictures of pies, and I'm like, girl, I have nothing in my fridge. What are you doing to me?
I don't know how people do it. I don't get it. I have cookie dough that I've eaten more cookie dough than actually baked cookies. I haven't baked a single cookie.
It's much better anyway.
Yeah, just cookie dough. Amazing.
Do you have a favorite plugin for vocal recording? Well, it's more for like.
I mean, my chain is quite somewhat long. I think if you need like a quick, just get it done demo, probably CLA Vocal. It's, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a cop out for like an actual proper vocal chain, but I think it's a really great place to start if you're just trying to get a quick sounding demo vocal. That one, Fab Filter stuff is pretty amazing. And Nectar by Isotope is also, those are like my shortcuts.
Right.
When I need.
But then you have, if you do it properly.
Right, yeah.
A long of a list. Hey, Patricia Grimm. You have to come in tomorrow and Deep Bloom is going to be on here. So Deep Bloom, all right, it's got 1 minute. Are we going to wrap this up?
Sure.
Or I really want you to hear more. I always want to go on and on and on, but then like it makes everything so much more complicated when like reposting.
Well, why don't we wrap this one up? This one will go up, and like maybe the other one won't. I don't know.
We can, if you want to keep on talking, we can keep on talking if you're up for it. Yeah, and then it just like clicks out and then it come back on.
I mean, if people have more questions,
you know what? Let's just come back on. I'm gonna stop it now and come back on. Everyone, come back in if you're interested. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hello again. We didn't want to wrap up. We have more to talk about. So there we go. Where are you, Dahlia? Dahlia. Flower. Hello, Rain. Just want to keep on going, don't we? Chatterboxes. Musical chatterboxes. That's what we are. We are musical chatterboxes. Love. Oh, hang on. Where is Dahlia? I'm not sure if she's getting it. Kind of want to get you in here, Oni, for a second. But, Dahlia. Yeah, baking pies, huh? Are you baking a pie today, Oni? What? Her business, is she a full-time engineer? Okay, yeah. I don't know if she's sussed out to come back in. I don't know if she got that. She was sort of saying that she is doing a lot of. I don't think she has figured. Like, I don't think we misunderstood each other there. I think she didn't realize that she was meant to come back in. No, if she's not in the. You know what? Oh, Lisa. I have a feeling Dahlia didn't quite. We sort of misunderstood each other, and she didn't figure out to come back in here. No, there she is. Hey, there she is. Let's have her back. Dahlia. Wearing Tom Tom's t-shirt. She was here last week. The week before, she was the second person on the show.
Hi.
I thought you didn't suss out there, so I'd come back in. I was like, where are you?
Oh, yeah, no. My phone overheated.
Oh, no. I had that when chatting to my friend the other day. She had it on the laptop, the phone, like on front, so it would stand up, and then it just like disappeared. And I was like, girl, if you don't want to talk to me, you can just tell me. She's like, no. And she sent me like screenshots of like her phone saying like it's overheated.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got a bunch of like questions here. So
okay, cool.
The question is, has COVID-19 affected your business? Are you a full-time engineer?
So it hasn't really affected my business very much because I have a diversified business. I do a variety of things, and I have income flow from a lot of different directions.
Yeah. So you're not that like worried because it's all.
No.
Well, also, as you were saying, music still needs to be made, and you still get leaves and stuff.
I don't think. I think for what I do, the effects of it won't be felt for another while longer.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
So.
Any other questions? Questions in the house to our lovely lady Dahlia, singer, songwriter, producer, engineer.
Questions.
Oh, I wanted to hear another song now. Like we had your baby song. I want to know something that you're like really proud of, or like you pop something from Vida from the TV show.
Sure.
That'd be interesting. So Dahlia wrote music for this TV show called Vida.
Yes.
Is that a Latin show?
Not quite. No. So it's actually a really amazing show, and I'm so lucky and proud that I got to be a part of it.
Okay.
Vida is a show about these two Mexican American sisters who grew up in Los Angeles, and they both moved away, and their mother passes away, so they both come back to Los Angeles to deal with the death of their mother. And so I mean, it's like they're two young girls, and they're like dealing with their identities, and one of them is queer, and they find out that their mother was married to a woman, which they didn't know, and it's just like the complications of realizing that your parents are human. Yeah, and then
So can you hear my gardener outside?
What was that?
There's a gardener outside blowing leaves or something. It's really loud.
Oh,
can you hear it? Okay, good.
So
my Wednesday torture. So always when you like start to record, it's like as soon as you like get ready to record, it's like the gardener starts, and then.
I feel like my gardener comes in on Tuesdays, and because it was raining yesterday, he didn't come.
Well, we have the issue where like one comes on Tuesday, then ours comes on Wednesday. Like you're just neighborhood wise. Yeah. It's just like can you like coordinate? All come at the same time, have the same gardener, whatever. Every time I'm starting to record, it's like I have an eyeball like electric equipment on the pictures. You have the Yamahas, don't you?
Yeah.
And then I've got an eyeball there, and I've got a Nord over there.
We have pretty much the same studio.
I have the same stuff. Look at this one. This is my favorite little baby. This is just like a Roland FP4. Like I do have the Nord, but it's too much going on. I just hate the color.
Oh,
I had to say that. Like a girl, what car do you want? A red
Honestly,
one?
I have the Nord Electro 5 HP.
Yeah.
I got it like on sale or something. I don't remember. But I never use the sounds on it. I always like end up just using MIDI stuff.
Exactly. That's why I've decided to put this one up. I'm actually babysitting this one from a friend who moved to Berlin.
Oh, nice.
We haven't made it work.
There's so much that I want to get. It's just. Oof.
I really want to get like a machine or something. I thought maybe buttons that you can or hit, or like even something like a proper like sampling pads that you can hit. That's really what I want.
At the Electron, what's it called? The Electron analog rhythm, the 2. And it's really cool, and like, yeah, it has the pads and everything. I also have an Akai, but it's so big and it's so heavy. I have the Akai 88 keys, and it has the pads on it.
Oh, but the Akais are amazing. They just have a nice sound to them already.
Yeah, what I really want to do is get a new desk, so I can like have everything and just.
That's cool.
You
know,
that
is really good.
Yeah, it seems like everybody has those output desks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want one of those. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to get one custom made.
Oh.
Yeah, a friend of mine makes them. So if anybody's looking for a custom made desk, Adam Kriskow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he makes producer desks and like all types of cool stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really
so
cool.
I think I want to do that. But yeah, okay, wait.
Sorry.
So people ask question. Am I inspired more to write lately? No, quite the opposite.
That's what you said, yeah. That's when you slept, Oni. She said she's not.
Yeah, no. Let's see. How are you placing your syncs with a publisher and independent company? So I'm not signed, so I'm a free agent, but publishing companies that do want to place my songs or that do have that they feel like they can place them, then I'll give them, their company will take a cut, like 25% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But myself, I am not signed. So that's how that works. What else?
What artists do you like to listen to lately?
I've been listening to Bad Bunny a lot. Bad Bunny, J Balvin, a lot of the Latin music stuff that's going on. I mean, just so many people. I feel like I listen to a lot of music.
But is there anyone that just like blew your mind recently? I mean, I was the one, like, for me, like Billie Eilish, like just as an entire person, like everything about her, it's just so fantastic that it's had happened now, and I love her music. So that's on a big scale of things that I just love her.
Bad Bunny, probably. I feel like he's the equivalent of like, he's making people angry, he's making people think, he's shifting culture, he's shifting perspectives, he's like the rock icon of of music at the moment. And he got a lot of he released a music video a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week and a half ago, where he was dressed as a woman. And in Latin culture, and his like, the idea of being trans is still not, I mean, in general, it's still not as openly welcomed. And for him to make a statement, and he's been making statements about equality amongst all genders, amongst all sexualities on TV. This trans woman in Puerto Rico was killed, and he did a TV appearance. I don't remember what TV show it was on, and he wore a T-shirt, stating that it wasn't some man in the skirt, it was a woman who got killed. And this is like bringing awareness. And I think, for someone who is from a Latin culture doing like reggaeton music and stuff like that, it's very, very powerful because people aren't used to that.
Right.
And people in general just aren't used to that anymore. And what used to be like, if you think in the 90s, like people like Tupac and Biggie were making waves. Parents were like, you can't listen to this. This is the devil's music. Like, if you're not scaring parents, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
people don't hate on what you're wearing, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Also, I think Bad Bunny is really like checking up all those marks. He's making good music. He's breaking ground. He's being politically active. He's being socially active. He's bringing awareness to things to people that, you know, he doesn't care if people come after him. Like he's really, I feel like, embracing that role of public figure to shift culture. And that to me is more important than anything. I feel like there are artists on the big mainstream who want to please everybody.
Right.
And it's like, well, I'm not gonna talk about politics. I'm not gonna talk about my beliefs. I'm not gonna talk about this because I don't want to mess with that. And he's like, fuck it. No, you need to hear this.
Yeah.
And I respect.
It's true. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Very good. I was just gonna. Do you see that thing? Because Sparrow Pop, she's this amazing songwriter, and her boyfriend is a mixing mastering engineer, and she says Mike is looking for a desk.
Oh, cool.
Well, we're just gonna spend $3,000 on a desk, so you guys should link up.
That sounds about right.
You should totally link up. We should do a freeway songwriting session on House Party together. That's free. That'd be.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yes, I know DAHLIA. I think she's great. Let's see. Yeah. Amazing stuff. I think there are a lot of people doing stuff. I think, you know, there's a lot just going on in music right now, and I think separate of just like styles meshing and you know, different cultures starting to combine, I think music has the ability to kind of surpass that, but to overlook some of the politics behind music, I think is just a little bit ignorant. You know, like I think the reason why someone like Rosalia is so digestible for a lot of people in America is because she's a light-skinned Spanish woman.
Right.
You know, there's still a lot of racism within music. There's still a lot of racism within the Latin music. The fact that at the Grammys, both like within the Grammys in general, there's like the Latin, you know, best Latin album for regular Grammys, and then you have the Latin Grammys that doesn't include a genre like reggaeton, which is the biggest genre of music, you know, with like Latin music, and like
it doesn't include that.
Yeah, it's considered like within urban. Right. Okay. But it's not like it's own thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of stuff to music, and I think people are trying to notice, and people are, you know, like a lot of people were protesting the Grammys, and a lot of people were protesting the Latin Grammys. Like, how is it that these people that deserve these acknowledgments aren't getting it? It's like, well, it goes back to like, well, who's voting? Who are the ones that are making these choices? Well, it's a bunch of like white dudes in suits.
But is it though? Isn't it like the Oscars? This is what always confuses me about this, because the Oscars is not a bunch of white dudes in suits. They're people. They're peer to peer. It's a peer to peer. Isn't the Grammy the same?
Ish. I think so you can submit to be considered for the you know, the Grammys, and you're like, okay, this is a body of work. It came out during this time, whatever. And then there's so many filtering aspects before it gets to the voting. Like, if you're a member.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Before you actually get the thing.
And then you have your gatekeepers of like, I'm gonna vote for this person because they are working on my record now. So if they win, that will bring awareness to mine.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's just like, it's very Tetrisy.
It's true.
You know, like
that's true.
It's a business. The I don't know. I think the Grammys, they'll hold a lot of clout, and it's very meaningful to a lot of people. But I think that there should be a little more transparency with how it's done, and you know, I think Like even when Adele won, Adele was like, I shouldn't have won. Beyonce should have won. This
Right.
is crazy. What is wrong with you people? You
Well,
know?
I like the fact that Adele won. It's not like Beyonce doesn't have enough awards anyway.
I don't remember what the award was, because I think some of them she was like, yeah, I deserve this.
Right.
But there was one where she was like, this one I don't.
Okay.
Maybe it was like a video or something. I don't know.
Right. I need to look into that. I have no idea. I just thought it was in general because she's like the biggest Beyonce fan, like always been. So I think she was just kind of like,
it's not the biggest.
But I don't know. But any questions still? Because I think we should wrap it up now.
Yeah.
If anyone has a question to our lovely Dahlia here, anything about anything really?
Yes, I'm willing to answer a quick
question.
rapid
Spitfire question, like speed dating with Dahlia.
Oh my god! Wait, you should just ask me like 5 random questions.
I was gonna like post like, you know, like singer songwriter general babe or something. I was like, can I post that? Is that weird if I do that? Like, you know, like you never know how like somebody wants that.
The funny thing about that, so I have a huge gripe about women not being able to be feminine as producers or as engineers.
Right.
And I attended this like female producer thing, and it's crazy how like obviously like streetwear now is a style and like, you know, wearing baggy clothes or whatever. But there's still a thing about like I am quite a feminine woman. And I really like that. And I am a sensual woman. I am a well-rounded. I have many sides to me.
Right.
And I hate the idea that I would have to wear something in a studio to be taken more seriously. That I wouldn't be able to roll up in my like sunflower dress to work. Because that might...
How can it even work without a sunflower dress? I mean, I'm sorry. Right?
I mean... Right?
What are you gonna do? You're gonna feel inspired. You're gonna wear what you have to wear that day to feel good.
Right. I mean, I like want to be able to wear whatever I want and feel good in what I wear and not feel like I have to dress like one of the guys to be taken seriously. You know.
That's true.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
This is a good roundup. Fuck it. There we are. Well, this was amazing, and yeah, we should like I'm gonna look into like a special songwriting weekend thing, session show live.
Yes.
I'm losing my words. I'm delirious. I haven't had breakfast yet or anything.
I'll go have breakfast. Go find what you have in your refrigerator.
But yes, thank you so much for being here. That was so much insights and fun and.
Thank you. And yes, I will wear that dress.
Yeah, wear that dress. Sunflowers everywhere, all the time. So, yes, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I will talk to you in a minute.
Bye, you guys.
Keep on making that amazing music.